Hey there, wake up. It's Means Morning News. Just after 11 a.m. on the East Coast here in Washington, D.C., I'm the newsman, Sam Sachs. Good morning to everyone. Friends, I have some news. This is the last episode of MMN for this year. We'll be back next year with a brand new season. Yeah, we're moving the studio. We're making some upgrades around here, maybe experimenting with some new looks. Then the team is taking the holidays off. So, yeah, basically we're out of here for the rest of 2023. But I promise we'll be back. I'll be back right after the new year. MMN will be here for 2024. How could we not be? It's going to be wild. In the meantime, we still have a show to do this morning. So let's get to it. And we begin in the United States House of Representatives, where lawmakers passed a resolution proclaiming that millions of Jewish people around the world, including myself and many of you watching at home, are anti-Semitic. The resolution was introduced by Republican Congressman David Kustoff, and it was backed by the rest of the GOP caucus. It takes the form of several other resolutions that have condemned Hamas and attempted to suppress dissent against the policies of the far-right Netanyahu government in Israel. Though this one goes farther. Instead of implying that anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism, as other resolutions have done, this one explicitly states it. Quote, resolved that the House of Representatives clearly and firmly states that anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism. Now, Zionism is a nationalist ideology endorsed by the reactionary government of Israel that argues for the existence of a Jewish supremacist state in lands that were historically Palestinian and that once were home to Jews, Muslims, and Christians. It's the motivating force for the ongoing displacement of Palestinians from their homes and territories and the construction of illegal Jewish settlements. And for as long as Zionism has existed, which predates the state of Israel itself, there have been Jews speaking out against it, calling it a colonialist project and accurately predicting the grief it would cause not just for Palestinians, but the Jewish diaspora around the world for generations to come. And what Congress just did yesterday is declare that that historical tradition within Judaism, that anti-Zionist strain, is invalid, that it's a form of anti-Semitism. The final vote on the bill was 311 to 14, with just 13 Democrats, including members of the squad, voting against it. One Republican voted no, and that was Libertarian Thomas Massey, who posted this pretty cringe Drake meme implying that Congress now rejects American patriotism but embraces Zionism. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer called the meme anti-Semitic and demanded Massey take it down. It's not anti-Semitic, but it is just stupid as shit since American patriotism is just as destructive of an ideology these days as Zionism. A majority of Democrats voted with Republicans to pass the resolution, although 92 members of the caucus heeded the recommendation from fellow Jewish members who spoke out against the measure, and they voted present instead of aye. They didn't vote no, just present. How courageous. Representative Rashida Tlaib was one of those 13 Democrats who voted no on the resolution. She tweeted, quote, opposing the policies of the government of Israel and Netanyahu's extremism is not anti-Semitic. Speaking up for human rights and a ceasefire to save lives should never be condemned. Jewish cartoonist Eli Valley wrote that, quote, among other things, by codifying ethno-nationalism as the only acceptable expression of Judaism in America, this is the most anti-Semitic resolution to be considered in generations. The Israeli military is carrying out a genocide in Gaza in the name of Judaism. And when millions of left-wing Jews around the world protest to say, "not in our name," Congress rallies to declare us anti-Semites. It is indeed a dangerous time to be Jewish, just not in the way U.S. lawmakers think. The Tesla strike that spread across Sweden is about to reach Denmark. In a statement on Tuesday, the Danish harbor union 3F Transport announced that it will join a sympathy strike against the company. Dock workers and drivers will not receive nor transport Tesla cars bound for Sweden. The strike will begin in about 2 weeks. Bloomberg reported that the Transport Workers Union in Finland will vote on Thursday on potentially joining the strike, and trade unions in Norway are also considering their next steps. All of Scandinavia is about to join in revolt against Elon Musk because he's being a dickhead and refuses to sign a collective agreement with about 120 workers at a service center in Sweden. The union that represents them, IF Metal, called for sympathy strikes against Tesla, which, unlike in the US, are legal over there. And the other unions responded. As The Guardian reported, quote, "Dock workers are refusing to unload Tesla cars at Swedish ports. Postal workers won't deliver their number plates. Electricians won't service Tesla charging points." Tesla is trying to fight all this in Swedish courts. That's all still unsettled. On Twitter last month, Elon Musk referred to the strikes as, quote, "insane." But they are a nice cap on the year for the erratic billionaire who blew up 2 rocket ships, a social media website, what little was left of his reputation, and his relationship with at least one of his children, and also probably quite a few Teslas along the way. Fair to say that Elon Musk is this year's rich dick. Hey, I won't be here to remind you tomorrow, but don't visit or engage with the Washington Post on Thursday. The union that represents journalists and staff at the paper will go on strike on December 7th. In a letter to readers, the Washington Post Guild explained, quote, "For 18 months, members of our union, the Post Guild, have sought to negotiate a fairer contract for us all, but management has refused to bargain in good faith and repeatedly and illegally shut down negotiations over key issues such as pay equity, raises that keep pace with inflation and our competitors, remote work policies, mental health supports, and a buyout package that seeks to reduce our workforce by 10%. The strike will last just 24 hours, during which the workers encourage readers not to view any Washington Post content, don't buy the print edition, don't go on the website, don't listen to the podcast, don't watch the videos, play the games, or even read the dang recipes. Post is currently trying to reduce its workforce by 10%, as the union noted. The paper is, of course, owned by Jeff Bezos, one of the richest people in the world. He could ensure every one of the workers of the paper earns a living wage, but he's currently blowing that money on going to space. Hey, it's the last show of the year, so let's have a little fun at the expense of the piggies. As we head into 2024, let's take a look back at the top 4 funniest cop videos of 2023. And we begin with number 4. Let's head out to Los Angeles for this one, and dash cam footage of a stolen vehicle pursuit that ends with a police officer getting hit by a police cruiser. You can see it happen right here. This is not slow motion. The cop is just running very slowly, and yet his fellow officer can't seem to avoid hitting him with his car. Ever wanted to see a cop fly? Cop was not seriously injured, if anyone out there was actually concerned. Clearly, though, the LAPD not sending their finest. Or maybe they are, and that's just what you get. All right, number 3, and we're staying in Los Angeles for this one. It involves a volunteer cop with the LAPD who picked a fight with a swarm of bees and lost. You can see the officer here trying to swat away the bees. At one point, he tries to escape into the volunteer cop car, and his fellow officer appears to keep the doors locked, saying, no, you're not coming in here with all those bees. The officer stumbles for a bit, and then down goes Frazier. Cop suffered a nasty gash on his head due to the fall, but other than that, ended up okay. And the rest of us learn that when it comes to police abolition, we might have allies in the hives. All right, number 2. Now we're getting into the really good ones. For this one, we head out to Germany, where at the start of the year, climate activists descended on a mining project to protest its expansion. Hundreds of North Rhine-Westphalia police officers responded to protect the mining site, but ended up getting stuck in the mud and thwarted by what appears to be some sort of mud wizard. Notice how this cloaked entity is able to walk across the quicksand with ease as the officers sink deeper and deeper into it, trying desperately to pull each other out. I could probably watch this video on repeat for hours. I tend not to believe in superpowers, but that mud wizard is cooking with something. And the ending of this video is also just so good. Watch as the mud wizard delivers one final humiliating shove on a stuck cop. Love that mud wizard. That's video number 2. And finally, the number 1 cop video of 2023. I don't think many will be surprised by this, but it's gotta be Cop Slide. This video of a Boston police officer getting launched out of a children's slide raised several questions. Why is he going so fast? Why is he on his stomach? What the hell was he doing going down the slide for anyway? But answers to those questions came second to the sheer joy we all felt watching it over and over and over again, and then watching all the remixes that followed. The video inspired others in the Boston area to try out the slide. It became so popular that the city had to barricade it for a bit and then install metal rails to prevent adults like that cop from trying to go down it. You know, it's been a rough year, but for a few weeks in August, a cop slide brought all of us some joy. And it's the one goddamn thing we should be thankful for the police for in 2023. May 2024 bring us the same amount of joy with videos of cops getting humiliated. All right, friends, for our last Sunny of 2023, this one's from Michigan. It was sent in by Sam and Riley in Jackson. Enjoy. Thank you, my fellow Sam, and thank you, Riley. That is the show. Thanks for watching. Thanks to the team behind the scenes. Please sign up for Means TV and subscribe to our YouTube and podcast channels. One day, capitalism will fall. Until then, we're going to be right here. Have a safe and happy holidays, everyone. For those who are online, you know where to find me. I'll be posting. Everyone else, we'll see each other again in 2024.